Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Site D20. I'm your host, GMTheGameMonster, and with me is a wonderful fellow member of the mythical menagerie, the one, the only, Little Appleseed.
Hi, that's me. I'm a goblin druid. Your friendly neighborhood goblin druid, to be precise.
I didn't know we had a neighborhood.
Apparently, we do. Who knew?
Hydrate, you bastard!
It's a weird neighborhood in the mythical menagerie. You know, you got a goblin druid over here. You got a trash goblin just living in everyone's dumpsters and Bringles.
Who had a birthday recently, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
it was Bringles' birthday, like 2 or 3 days ago, something like that. It was very recent.
Well, I missed that stream, but happy birthday to them. But tonight we are making a dungeon together.
I'm ready.
So for those of you who have been to the previous dungeon creation streams, you've kind of seen how this works, but for anyone who is new to this wonderful dose of mayhem, allow me to introduce kind of what the gimmick is. So, our wonderful guest this evening is going to make a dungeon. Now, this dungeon doesn't have to be like your typical lost to temple ruins or the basement of a castle. It's dungeon in function as far as a role-play mechanic, not in aesthetic. And this dungeon is meant to be played off in a single session where I will send some unfortunate souls through the adventure, and then based on their reviews and our little review, as we will be reviewing it live on a stream with some very hilarious commentary, we'll be rating it and ranking it in a tier list with the others. Of course, the rule set that the players will have to deal with will be the Shadow the Demon Lord rule set. So that's kind of what we based our bestiary off of this evening. And we'll be making the outline today on Roll20. As you can see here.
Yes, as you all can see on my screen, we have a blank Roll20 page.
Blank for now.
Blank for now.
And I will get up a calculator so I can help keep track of your points. Which, Appleseed here will be starting with 500 points. There are some rooms that can help increase points, and there are a lot of creatures that can help decrease points. All depends on what sort of mayhem Little Appleseed wants to bring forth into this reality.
Okay. So let's talk dungeons, friends. 'Cause I, as a DM of multiple D&D games myself, have made a few dungeons in my time. And there's one in particular that has always struck out to me as my personal favorite that I have made, and as my players' personal favorite that they have ever participated in. It was a dungeon that I referred to as the Berkshire, which was essentially a kind of secretive forest with a giant tree inside, and inside that tree lived like a basically greater hag witch of sorts. The main reason my players love this dungeon so much is because as soon as they entered, they were blinded. And I literally blindfolded them. And had them roll their dice blindfolded. And I would record results. It was very, very fun, very, very chaotic. But I was thinking about that dungeon in particular, and I would like to make something similar. Because that dungeon is one that just rings out very strongly in my mind.
Well, color me intrigued.
So what we were looking at roughly is originally I kind of had it as, I guess, a 3-room dungeon where there was the actual maze of sorts. Yeah, Pikmin, why are you stinky? I meant to ask that. Are you good? Why are you stinky? Pikmin came in chat and was like, I am stink. And I'm like, okay.
I'm hoping that's from a workout.
Okay, you got done doing yard work. All right.
Also, Azzy and Wrath, thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary wishes. Which, yeah, I guess I kind of forgot about this. Today is my affiliate anniversary.
Yeah, we both discovered that as I went to, like, you know, go on your channel before this collab, and I saw a happy affiliate anniversary, and I was like, oh, I feel honored now. I get to be the collab on your affiliate anniversary. Look at that. So yeah, we're looking at kind of a 3-room structure. And to be clear, you're wanting me to roughly draw this out?
Yeah, if you could.
Because I'm the worst artist in the goddamn world, so this will be great.
It's okay. So am I. So
Wonderful.
with our powers combined, we will we'll make something that looks relatively square, probably. Maybe.
Probably. Maybe. Possibly. Okay.
I will say there is a lovely tool that we can use to kind of cheat straight lines.
Yes.
And that's the polygon line option.
Yes. I am familiar with that one.
That feature has saved my life so many times.
So the way the dungeon started was it was kind of a like maze through just tons of trees where the players were blindfolded. And it was a bunch of fae that were just whispering to them, basically beckoning them to go whatever direction the fae were wanting. But the fae, you know, age-old adage, never trust a fae. If you listen to the fae, you're gonna get hurt, basically. You're gonna run into some troubles. And, you know, for what I did, it was a lot of wisdom saves and charisma saves and stuff, just against the fae to try and not listen to them. And what the actual thought was you were supposed to, like, listen to the wind, and the wind would kind of guide you the direction that you need to go. So it was designed to be a great big maze, the first room. So I suppose we should start there.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know where to start, to be honest. I guess we can start by making, like, I should use black because that's kind of standard. I don't know. Should I start at the top or the bottom?
I usually start with the northern end, and I always make the top north, but whatever floats your boat, just as long as things are labeled, so that way I can figure out what things are. Okay.
So there's, like, a little... That seems more gray than it does black to me, but whatever. There was, like, a little entrance of sorts. And then there was, like... I always pictured it in my brain, and granted, like... Of course, the players didn't know, because their characters didn't even see, let alone them. But I always pictured it as, like, a hedge maze.
Okay.
So... We're gonna have to somehow construct a maze. a roughly drawn maze. I'm not making this easy on myself.
What is easy anyway?
But it doesn't need to be like. Do I need to fit everything on this one page?
Well,
first
can I put it
question.
this way? This page does not need to be to scale.
Okay. Good.
So if need be, it can be shrunk. As long as like you give me some guidelines for roughly when squares matter, how much they matter.
Okay. I don't think it will matter too much, at least not in this section. This section is more the... It's a maze, you can be led to different traps. Sort of thing.
Okay.
That's my goal, at least. I think specifically it was they could be led to traps or I had a bunch of like fey wolves that I created. So
Tell me about these fey wolves.
I don't remember a lot of them, but basically they were like you know like, do you play Yu-Gi-Oh at all?
I used to.
Okay, there's like a flower wolf card in Yu-Gi-Oh. So I imagine them kind of like a standard looking wolf. But instead of fur, they've got like leaves and stuff, and they had the ability to like when they clawed at someone, they could also extend vines from their claws to like grapple individuals. They I think I used mostly wolf actual statistics, but
I would say we do have wolves, and we also have dire wolves, which in this system are fey.
excellent. Very good. Okay.
Are you talking about the fusion monster flower wolf?
Yes. I never really played Yu-Gi-Oh, but I did have Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories as a game growing up. And so I roughly took inspiration from these wolves from that flower wolf.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. As someone who has made several adventures and stolen many monsters from Magic the Gathering, I completely get it.
I feel like every great DM steals something from somewhere. Like, you gotta, right?
I mean, not gonna lie, when I had read the Dungeon Master, not Dungeon Masters, when I read the what is it? D&D for Dummies. There was a section that was absolutely like, when you're running an adventure, don't be afraid to, if you're making from scratch, just kind of steal from other sources.
Yeah.
And their whole thing was basically reworking the plot of the Lord of the Rings, but as a, like, stealing an item from, like, the Spider Queen.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if people still talk about it nowadays, but I remember it was a big deal back in high school that everyone was just like, yeah, all stories in Hollywood, all stories kind of break down to, like, these small numbers of narratives. Like, I forget the exact number. I want to say it was like, deep down, all stories are some iteration of these 6 stories. I think that's the number.
Okay.
But basically, it's okay to steal so long as you change it and as long as you're not publishing it.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, I've stolen from so many things. Like, I don't know. And I do it pretty unashamedly. Like, I like to think that when I do come up with stuff that's original, it is pretty original. But even then, like, there begs the question of what exactly is original.
Exactly.
Like, we're at the point with with just media in general, where I don't think there's a lot of original ideas anymore.
It really feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Sorry that I'm, like, stopping every now and then. I'm taking, like, pauses to eat.
No worries. I'm also over here just munching away at nachos. But no, it's, and honestly, for people who may be concerned about that, if you really want to do something that's different, take something that didn't do well and then try and do it better. Like, I think that's something that isn't done enough. Like, there's all these remakes of all these really good things, and people get mad about these remakes or sequels because they're not as good as the original. But if you take something that was not well received or just did way worse than it should have, and then you make it better, you're not going to piss people off.
Yeah, no, that's entirely valid. I feel like I'm making just a lot of, like, three-way streets here, but you know what? That's fine.
Wow. So my Roll20 had not updated. I just clicked back on it to make sure it was updating, and just all these lines manifested.
I'm making a maze! It's not a good maze, but I'm making a maze.
It do the thing.
It was easy when I was DMing because it could just be like, okay, I go right, and eventually I could be like, yeah, okay, they've suffered enough. This feels like a good exit.
Legit, that is my main DMing style. It's the point where running pre-mades are so hard for me because I normally just make things up as I go.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I am like, I understand that there is, of course, importance to being able to plan out your sessions and have things relatively planned, but like, I don't know, I do so much shit just improvised.
Same.
And I think that it's fun. Like, it's nice to have. I need to have that go somewhere, actually. I'm gonna have that continue to go this way. But like, I remember another one of my favorite dungeons that my players ever played in that I ran it was like one of my first big dungeons I ever did for my first campaign I ever ran, which was, it was a red dragon lair.
Ooh.
That was like inside an active volcano. Ah! Jesus! Codex, you scared the shit out of me! Thank you for the raid! Hi! Hi! Thank you so much for the raid! I'm sorry, that spooked me. I'm here drawing my maze, making my lines. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing? What were you streaming?
He's on a big nut, big slut, but I'm all of that. I'm a boof pack.
Oh my god. Alright, rock on. I love this clip. Oh, it ended.
Oh, you got it where it plays a clip whenever you shout somebody out? Oh, I've been meaning to set that up.
I find it usually accidentally grabs people's oldest clips, which usually make people cringe, but I find those ones are some of the most charming ones.
Honestly, some of my best clips were from my early days when I was playing Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
Oh my god, I love Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
And I was just being an absolute gremlin. Oh, I don't know what sort of, like, I don't know what was in my brain, but it was absolutely just causing me to just spit absolute sass at all the characters. I was making Nokia jokes left and right. It's like my best material. ah.
Sass is
play more of
powerful.
the new. Sass is very powerful. And those characters are so easily sassable.
They really are. Okay. How long? I feel like this is long enough. This is long of a hellscape. And I do need to save room.
Room? Nah.
Who needs other rooms? It's just one big maze. Everyone likes mazes, right? That's everyone's favorite part of video games.
Why make a maze when you can just make a turning, never-ending treadmill?
And kind of roughly says "end" there. Pikmin, why are you redeeming Valley Girl Apple right now?
Valley Girl Apple? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh my god. But
That
anyway.
is so silly.
Anyway, I was talking about this red dragon. So
That's right, the red dragon.
yeah, so I had this red dragon. It was like my first big dungeon I ever ran. And of course, I was still really new to DMing, and I was like, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Because no one does at first. And so it was like, okay, I'm gonna like have this dragon essentially just breathing fire down these really tight corridors. And, you know, it's like the classic rolling boulder, except it's a dragon's breath that you're running away from.
Ooh.
And it was like, that was all improvised. And my players were like, oh my god, that's so cool. I had one person who was playing at the time and was like, oh my god, like, you know, I've been running games for forever. I've been playing D&D for forever. And like, that was really, really cool. And the fact that you just came up with that, like, on the spot is really, really amazing. I'm like,
I love those moments.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay, I've made a very rough maze. I don't necessarily want traps in every single one of these dead ends.
You know, a few traps for fun.
Yeah, of course, a few. Some could just be like dead ends.
Also, thank you, Leo, for the gifted sub.
So I've got 500 points to start. So you get points back if you have things that help the players?
That is correct.
Okay. I'm torn between my, like, want to be nice later on and my want to just, like, torture people. Like, the kind good part of me is like, yeah, you know, a health pool would be nice, especially before a final boss. But the other part of me is like, but what if? Why not have one be a gelatinous cube? It's tempting. I do love me some gelatinous cubes.
You know, I forget if gelatinous cube is on the list.
I don't know if it is with me skimming. Unless I'm just missing it, which is possible.
Ooze. We have a slime and an ooze. I think gelatinous cube is D&D specific.
It is, I think. Oh. Okay.
Which there's one creature that I think is D&D specific that I really, really just want to reinterpret and bring in something else because I love how it's set up, and that's the gray render.
Oh, gray renders are so cool.
Oh, I have yet to use one in campaign, but God, I've been wanting to for years.
Okay. Now, I did design this originally to be very Fae-based.
And we do have plenty of Fae.
There is plenty of Fae.
Which, just a heads up, in the system that we're using, devils are a type of Fae.
Okay. That makes sense. There's goblins. These are the goblin woods.
There are goblins, but you can also make any of the NPCs. Like, I have a list of NPCs. Any of those can be goblin.
All of them. Where's NPCs? Did I miss that?
Oh, I think I included them.
Oh, no, I'm just blind.
Yeah, it's humanoid / NPC. Also, Pitfall Dead End. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that could be fun. And Broken Pancreas, thank you.
Pitfall Dead End is something I was considering. Because I'm mean.
Nothing like a little brutality.
I especially wanted at one that could just be like such an easy, like you turn this corner and it's like, you know, you take a step and fall in the pitfall.
Then, you know, it's just, that's where the dragon lives.
Yeah. It's okay. Grazdog the Wicked hangs out in there. It's fine. Okay.
Gray Render is the SRD. Thank you, Codex.
Okay, I need to start thinking of things. Okay, I for sure want a pitfall in here somewhere because that would be fun. That would be fun. A normal pit or a spiked pit?
Ooh.
How deadly do I want it to be?
I wouldn't say if you do a normal pit, then there has to be something else in that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Because then the pit is a hindrance.
Yeah.
But not the actual threat. There is a creature I do want to point out.
Okay.
Because some of these are not as apparent as I would wish that they would be.
Mm-hmm.
In the monster section, there is a wonderful creature called a Shadow Weaver.
Uh-huh.
It's a type of spider that inflicts corruption, which is a mechanic unique to this system where, as they gain corruption, the more their souls become damned. And eventually it can get enough to where, if they were to be knocked unconscious, instead of bleeding out, hell legit drags them into its depths, and they aren't allowed to make any saving throws. It's just they're insta-gone.
I'm going to keep that a note for the second stage. That would be mean. and
it's such a low-powered creature.
I want to be mean. I do want this to be fun, so I don't want to like make it super duper brutal, but I do want it to be kind of, you know, the slow ramp of difficulty like a normal dungeon I feel should be.
Oh yeah.
So like, you know, this is a maze, which is kind of annoying, but it is possible to get out unscathed. Just a little unlikely but possible. But for the most part, I don't want anything too bad in here. Except for the pitfall. I do really like that. But
We can be a little mean.
Yeah.
As a treat.
just that one, it's possible. That's it. It's just gonna be the one. But that's gonna be right at the end, I feel.
Leo, blood for the blood god. Indeed.
Would it be better if I write out what it is, or should I do a crude drawing of it?
If you want to write it out, you can. Which there is a text option.
Yes, I know there is somewhere.
Oh, and I should probably actually do the thing that I'm supposed to be doing and mark down the points here. So you're going with I
have a pitfall that's going to be happening. A concealed pit. Just a normal pit. I'm not going to do a spike one. I'm not going to be that mean. That's going right at the end here. Where I have this crudely drawn, what looks like transparent shit.
And here we have the dungeon laboratory, just...
Look, if I
And
went
here's
with
where
my
the
other...
monsters will leave them.
If I went with my other idea here, we were gonna have a really disgusting goblin lair. So... I will write underneath, like, pitfall.
Also, thank you for the corn redeem.
Pitfall. Oh, shit. Of course it's... Oh, I'll write it underneath. Awkwardly. Then... I know, folks on my end, I know you can't actually look at what the list is. That's partly by intention. Because it's kind of fun for me to go through this and then be like, oh, this thing sounds fun. Let's put that in there.
Which, if you have any questions about things, feel free to let me know.
I don't think I do. Most of these are... Like, I'm most familiar with, like, D&D 5e, so I'm making kind of a rough... Like, oh, okay, I know what the 5th edition equivalent of this would likely be.
Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, I mostly chose this system because it's very simple and very fast, yet very lethal.
I will
In fact,
ask,
the guy...
I will
Sorry?
ask, what is a rod maiden? Is that what I think it is?
It is a maiden made out of fungus.
Love it.
And I believe she can control other fungal things.
I would like there to be a decent amount of webs, because I want that to kind of be a bit of foreshadowing. So I'm gonna put some webs here. I'm gonna draw like just a little star webby thing.
Nice.
And then I'll do another one here. Maybe one more?
That's 3 webs.
I'll do 4 just because it will bother me if it's not a nice round even like number. Like I need it
Fair.
to be 20 points instead of 15 points.
Starting to look like Into the Spider-Verse in here.
Or you know what? You know what? I'll do the 3 webs and then I'll do a dart trap somewhere. I do intend to label these as well, by the way. I'm just...
Glorious.
The dart trap can be here. It'll just be an arrow. Boop boop.
Just the one dart trap?
Just the one, I think.
Currently, I have it that you have 465 points remaining.
Where's the 5?
Let me see here. Maybe I missed something, so I'm just going to quick go through. We have the Pitfall, Dart, and 1, 2... Oh, I had... Okay, I had 1 extra spider web.
Okay,
That's where.
Yes, I exchanged one of my extra spider webs for the dart trap.
Gotcha. Then you have 470 remaining.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I don't even know how much I want to spend in this first. Well, I do want to add some, like, actual creatures. Specifically, some fae.
Which... Oh, I think I put down the wrong points for the hag there. I'm going to fix that.
Now, I'm not entirely sure of, like, what monsters are like in this specific system. Like, I'm a little worried about putting too much shit or too little shit, if that makes sense.
Would you like a little perspective?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, so just for general ruling, the party that will be coming through will be max level.
Okay.
And in the rules as written, they can face 500 points of monsters per day, and that's considered normal.
Okay.
Like, that shouldn't be awful for them. Which is why I have it set up as 500.
Okay.
Typically a single encounter that's on the easy end. Let me just go through and grab that quick. I know that anything that's like 250 on up is considered hard for them. Let me double check. And we do have some things that are in the 1,000 point range.
Jesus, okay.
And if you have like if we do make a custom final boss, be it based on your Sona or based on anything else, typically the point values would be kind of more toward the categories that they have listed, so like 250, 500, 750, or 1,000.
Okay.
For like the high end. Let's see here. If my stuff would load any faster, that would be great.
Yeah,
who
I'm
knows,
just wondering what, like, an easy encounter, what a rough point total would be.
Yeah. Let's see here. Running the game. Almost there. Don't mind me. Don't mind the wait.
Shooty, no, you can't have tape. I know what you do with it. I don't want people taped to the ceiling.
So typically an easy encounter is going to be 50 points or less.
Okay.
And a hard encounter is 200 or more.
Okay.
And with them being at max level, there is no max creature difficulty.
So if I, like, you know, if they turn a corner and there's, like, pixies charging at them from one end and pixies charging at them from another end, like, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it probably won't be pixies. It'll probably be something like goblins because I'm me, but...
like, you could have two dryads, just kicking them back and forth. And that would be a relatively, I wouldn't say difficult, but that's like in the average range, would be two dryads doing a beatdown.
So tempting.
And that's the Fae. That's not including the tree folk, which are under plants.
Yes, I did see that too. Okay. They kind of enter in from over here. I don't want anything to immediately assault them. Just the potential of the two kind of dead ends. Or three, I guess. The one with the webs. But then when they go down this little tunnel to the next area of sorts, I wouldn't mind if there was something that kind of was at the end of that. And I'm thinking goblins.
Goblins?
So, goblins don't have a point thing.
They don't, because they're one of the core playable races.
Gotcha.
So, I kind of, like, technically we could make anything with the goblins, especially with Hero Forge. If there was like, I want these kind of goblins,
Okay.
let's stat them. So if you were like, I want 100-point goblin who's kind of an assassin-like character, it's like, cool, I can make that.
Okay, then I think I'll save goblins for more, like, later things.
Okay. Otherwise, you can also just go off of the humanoid/NPC list. And just, I can make any of those a goblin.
Maybe I could do Spriggans. I like Spriggans. Spriggans are cool.
Brigands are really fun. Also, Ciabatta Boy! Welcome on in, Raiders!
Yeah! Ciabatta, hi! Welcome, folks.
Yeah, welcome on in. Welcome to Site D20. I'm your host, GMTheGameMonster. With me is Little Appleseed.
Hi, that's me. I'm drawing two Spriggan friends. Apparently they're celery.
What were you doing, Ciabatta? What were you up to? Pure chaos, I hope.
Everything's just gonna look like weird little stars.
Hello, Alcadron. How's it going? So, Spriggans. I think those were, I want to say 50 points? Let me double check.
I have two of them.
Two of them, yes. Spriggans are 25, so it's 50 total.
Haha. Okay, so how much do I still have?
If I haven't missed anything, you have a funny number, 420.
Blaze it!
Ooh, you were playing some Total War Warhammer? Ooh, Ciabatta, have you seen the new trailer? I'm really excited to play Haunted Kislev.
Okay,
I'm also really excited to stat those monsters for Age of Sigmar.
Then I think I would like something else somewhere, and then I would like to save most things for the next stage.
That is fair. You've heard of what is coming, but have not seen the trailer. It's good stuff. It's supposed to come out the end of the month, but it looks good. It looks so good. I also heard that like the price got jacked up. Don't know for certain. Gonna be looking into that. But yeah, it all looks good. Also, Alcajon, I'm glad you're doing good. Yeah, 25 buckaronis. Wasn't normally like a Lord pack like this typically $12, $13? Am I remembering that right? Not to get into drama or anything, but when most of the YouTubers I follow and other content creators who really love the game and their job is the game, and they're like, you should probably wait until it's on sale. And they're excited for the content, so it's not the contents, like, contents that are making them wait. It's literally just the price, and it's like, this does not bode well. So we'll see. This one is 3.
Okay, I'm making a dryad.
Dryad.
She's gonna have pretty dryad hair. She's gonna be a beautiful lady. Ignore the fact that she's a stick figure. She's beautiful. She looks so dryad-like. With her little dryad eyes and her little dryad face.
Truly the most beautiful of dryad. Okay, have fun with food, Ciabatta. Thank you again for stopping by, and thank you for the raid.
Shoot. I don't want to move all that. I just want to move her. Shoot. No, I don't think I can. Fuck. Fuck.
Would you like some assistance?
Yeah, I think I want to move her closer to the end, actually.
Let me... nope. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roll20. Wow, okay.
Okay, alright. Can I just, like, undo? Is that possible?
I think so, but I forgot how. Oh, let me see here.
I love how you literally said to me that there was a line tool, and I didn't use it once. I was like, I'm freehanding this shit!
What we could do is, like...
Fuck symmetry!
Of, like, trying to drag over the whole thing, just click on each piece and hit delete.
Yeah. That might be easier.
Or if all else fails, I think we could easily fix that edge if we needed to.
Yeah. I'll just delete her. I can redraw. Though
Sounds
she
good.
was very beautiful. And
The most beautiful Dryad that ever did Dryad.
Brains keep scaring me today. Jesus. Anupat, hi! Welcome! Hello, how was your stream? What were you doing? We're making dungeons.
Look at
Hi, guest. Thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary wishes.
Nice.
Hope you enjoy the sleepies, and I'll absolutely have a good night. Good night, guest. Sleep well. Don't party too hard.
Thanks, Lonnie. Yeah, I don't do at all.
Party as hard as you want. Don't let anyone tell you what to do.
Now.
I mean, it is Thirsty Thursday. For any who celebrate that.
Gets to jump the same height as me, who's taller.
I screwed something up so that the thing is moving every time I draw anything. And I don't know how I managed to do that.
Huh.
I don't know how I did that.
Did you go back to selecting the draw tool instead of the select tool?
Yes. And that's why I'm confused. Like... I'm so perplexed.
That is really weird.
I'm just gonna
Maybe
reload.
I was gonna say, try doing a quick refresh. Going a little crazy there, guest?
Stop.
You know what? I don't know what. Explain it to me. Tell me, guest. Inform my little kaiju ears.
Hello everyone who came in from the raid, by the way. If you don't know me, and I didn't do this earlier when Codex raided, so apologies for that, but I'm Appleseed. I'm your friendly neighborhood goblin druid. I like to play a lot of comfy, cozy games. I do a lot of indie game content. I talk about D&D and musical theater way too much. But more than anything, I just like to have a comfy, cozy time where we can relax and de-stress from the craziness of life. And if that sounds like your type of vibe, then vibe with me. Smiles. And we are currently making dungeons with the lovely GMTheGameMonster.
Hi! Yeah, we're making some mayhem. As long as the art cooperates.
It seems to now, so...
Also, guest, thank you for the 1,000 biddies, bro. Thank you. Also, thank you to whoever donated the 100 biddies for the fart sound. Thank you so much. You are stinky, and I appreciate you. I think that's like a good thing to say. That I honestly have, for as long as I've had that fart redeem, I've never thought of how to respond to it besides "excuse you" or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I included it because I see everyone else having it.
Okay.
I hope Chad enjoys it.
I've added my dryad, and I think that's all I want for at least this first part of the dungeon.
For now, yes.
For now.
Ooh, a hail, hydrate, and a posture check. Don't mind if I do.
I need to hydrate myself, which means I need more liquid, so I will be right back.
Sounds good. Also, yeah, hope you have a good night, guest. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite, or whatever might be infesting your reality. A new pet? I think that's how you say it. A new pet to move? Either way, I like those raid emotes. I need to get my own raid emotes. Those look wonderful. Good night, guest. Enjoy your extra planar activities. And so, I was left with both chats. Left to my own devices.
I'm back now.
Oh, dang, I wasn't allowed to make mayhem.
I came back too quick.
Too quick! You're too fast for me!
I'm too fast! It's that goblin speed.
Gotta go fast!
Okay.
Oh, legit though, my first character I made in Shadow Demon Lord was just a really fast goblin.
I love that.
His name was Sauerkraut.
Oh, I love that. I love my favorite way of naming goblins is naming them just silly words.
Oh, both of my main goblin PCs have been that. There is Sauerkraut and then Nibbles.
I mean, I'm Appleseed, so I'm one to talk. Like, you know. Go rest.
Ooh.
Go rest if you need to. Don't worry about it.
Oh. Those are some good emotes.
Those are some really good emotes. I love seeing people's emotes.
Also, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I'm such a art enthusiast that I'm like, I just want to see everyone's fan art. I want to see everyone's PNGs and models. I want to see everyone's emotes. I just want to see everything created by artists.
See all the good stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Which, now that I have a job again, it is my goal in the near future to get a whole bunch more emotes.
Yeah.
But let's see here. If I was on my PC, I could have probably whip up some nice model pictures from Hero Forge. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. I do love Hero Forge. Honestly, one of the best Kickstarters I ever supported. Not sponsored, but if Hero Forge ever decided to sponsor me, I would be pretty damn happy.
Yeah, you can do some really good things on Hero Forge.
They have only been getting better.
Yeah, honestly. Which is surprising for a lot of companies.
Like, I would have thought they would have died out from now, especially when some competition came in, but nah, they've been kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, honestly.
And they just keep adding more shenanigans to it.
Okay, I think I'm done with the maze section.
Okay.
So now, what I had originally when I ran this was they came out of the maze to essentially just a giant tree. Like a giant tree. Like, I'm talking, like, goes into the sky type tree.
We're talking world tree levels, or like, oh god, I am ashamed that I'm forgetting this, but the big tree that the Night Elves had in Warcraft.
Yeah. I don't remember how big the tree actually was, like, in terms of genuine, movement. Because the next part was to climb said tree. And specifically, climb said tree while running away from hordes of monsters chasing you.
As one does.
And that's where I'd like our spidery boys to come in.
Ooh.
Because I think the idea of climbing a tree while a bunch of spidery fucks are chasing you is terrifying. Especially because, you know, they're spiders, and spiders can typically do things like spider climb. But that's the tricky part, because again, I'm not super familiar with Tailspire, so I don't know, like, its capabilities. But most of that was just... Alcadron! Thank you so much for following! Welcome to the Orchard, friend! I think with your follow, I'm 5 followers away from 1.2k, so, ladies, gents, and everyone in between, if you want to follow a wonderful goblin druid, you know, I'm your gal.
Everyone should absolutely go follow Little Appleseed. Let's... You know, I forgot to ask, pronouns?
She, her.
She, her. Everyone should go follow her and get her to 1.2k. Let's go!
Yeah, I'm very, very close, and it's very, very exciting. Yeah, so when I ran this, in actuality, it was just like just a, basically, they were climbing a tree. It wasn't so much a room to it.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's possible. For you. It's more my...
That's a good question. Will there be platforms on this tree?
There wasn't originally, but there could be.
Okay, let me just do a quick check here. Also, Alcadron, I do enjoy seeing Thrycreen, I believe that's it. Let me double check. Yeah, Thrycreen. I really enjoy seeing Thrycreen characters. I'm glad they finally happened.
I was waiting for the longest time for Thrycreen to finally be an actual thing. Because, man, I love Thrycreen, and I think they're so cool.
So I've seen other people make giant trees in Tailspire, so I'm gonna say we can do that until I get into it, and if I can't, then I will message you for a backup.
Okay. Then I'm not entirely sure what at this stage to actually draw.
That's a
Essentially, what I want it to be is a chase sequence.
Oh.
Of like,
Okay.
you know, at this point, there's not a whole lot in terms of obstacles. It's mostly just, or at least there wasn't originally, but maybe there can be now. It's mostly just get away from the spooters.
Fair.
Or fight the spooters if you're, feeling brave.
How many spooters are we thinking, by the way?
I don't really know.
Let's see, they're 25 a pop.
And I would like it to be difficult to fight them.
Difficult. Okay, so challenging is 126, 200. They're 25 a pop, so we could make 6. That would be 150.
Okay.
Or we could do more if you want to be more than just challenging.
That is the question. Because I'm not sure if I want there to be like obstacles on this tree. If there's something else getting in the way of them just like climbing.
That is a good question, yes. And
if so, what exactly?
Let me just scroll through my list here, because there's a lot of things, and I honestly cannot remember all of them.
That's so fair. How are we doing, by the way, everyone? I don't know if I've asked that today, but I hope you're all doing very well.
I hope that if anyone is partying tonight, that you party responsibly.
I'm going on a vacation for me, I guess. This weekend. I'm going home for the weekend. I'm actually very much looking forward to that. Well, my sister...
That sounds lovely.
My little sister, we joke in my community that all my siblings are named after other types of fruit. So my older sister is pineapple seed. I'm not sure what my little sister is. I feel like she'd be like... like strawberry seed or something like that. But
for some reason, what came to my mind was just mango.
Mango. I try and base it around their personality a little bit. Which sounds bad, saying that my older sister is pineapple seed, because pineapples are known for being prickly and thorny.
But also delicious.
And it's mostly because I know her favorite fruit is pineapple.
It is a very good fruit. Also, Alcatron I have not looked through the character sheet as I am streaming, but I did see the picture, and it's a very well made mini. I'm really happy that we have the ability to make Thrycreen or other bug people on Hero Forge. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. The Seed family.
Yeah, so my little sister has been home for the summer because she's a grown-up now, and goes to university and moved away to a university out of province. But she's home, and I have hardly spent any time with her, which I feel really bad for. But just because I'm really busy with work, and then I was in my show for a bit, so I've been a busy goblin. So I'm looking forward to actually spending a weekend with her. And so if anyone was curious why there's no streams this weekend, that's why. Because I just want to spend time with family. Enjoy my time with her before she moves away. Again.
Well, I hope you have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it'll be nice. Okay, back to dungeons.
Yes, to the dungeon and stuff, yes.
I just don't know, like, what obstacles I'd want to put on this, if any, really. If we had, like, platforms, like we were kind of discussing, then it could be possible to do, like, you know, you step on a platform, this one happens to have, like, a spike trap trigger sort of thing.
That could work.
Or
I did kind of have a silly idea.
Go on, I love silly ideas.
So, I know you're going with the spiders and having more of a, like, fae and stuff theme, but hear me out.
Okay.
What if we made a little reference to Norse mythology
Okay.
and had, like, a wyvern, or if you added something to get you some more points, a full-fledged dragon, or even the Jabberwock, either living in the tree or living in the roots of the tree, and enters the fight at this point.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you know this about me. I have what I can only describe as an insatiable lust for D&D dragons. I have, no joke, I have almost every single type of D&D dragon in miniature form in some like size.
Nice.
And my goal in life is to collect every single, like, one in an ancient form, and I'll pose them on a shelf alongside a giant Tiamat mini. But...
Are you going for, like, the biggest Tiamat mini?
Oh, yes. That's the goal. So, you mentioning dragons just makes me like, oh god, that's tempting. I did want, like, a fae thing. But this is already kind of loose.
Loosey-goosey.
A Jabberwock would be pretty cool. Entering the fight at this point.
Also, Alcadron, I thought Hero Forge had some spider options. I think they have an option for, like, a spider tar, or to have spider legs coming off the back.
I'd
have to double check.
I think they do have, like, spider appendage options. There's no, like, proper spider people race or anything, but if you do, like, if you want to make, like, a Drider adjacent, you can do, like, a human and add, like, spider legs and stuff.
And I think you could take, like, normal bug faces, because they have a few different things for that, and then just add the spider legs coming out of the back. I know they have tentacles that can come out the back, and I thought they had spider legs.
I thought they did, too.
But don't quote me on that. It's honestly one of my favorite things with Hero Forge is just leaving it alone for a few months and then coming back and seeing what new stuff they've added.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me somewhat recently, where I left it alone for a little bit, and then it's like, oh, there's so many new races now. What are these? What?
I've only been gone a week. What happened?
Basically. No, I do kind of like the idea of the Jabberwock entering the fight at this point.
Which you'd be the first to use a Jabberwocker, even really any sort of dragon thus far.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes me sad. I love dragons. I know that's so a cool. Basic bitch thing to say, but I love dragons.
Hey, nothing wrong with loving dragons.
I'm fully that person that's like, it's funny because, you know, my whole thing is that I'm the plant goblin druid. So you would think that, you know, my favorite monsters are things like plants or, you know, animals of some kind, or, you know, even just goblinoids. Nope. Dragons. Yeah, okay, let's go with the Jabberwock. That sounds dope.
Yeah. They're so cool, though. Like, there is no judgment on my end. Dragons are legit just the coolest. I mean, I grew up with Dragonheart and Reign of Fire, other cool movies like that. Dragons have always been there, and as far as I'm concerned, they always will be. So, I feel you.
So, then...
Yeah.
Okay, if we have the Jabberwock, I'm still not sure what I want for, like, traps for these platforms, if anything. Because now if a Jabberwock is coming...
Well, first things first, that Jabberwock is 500 points.
Yes.
And you're at 370.
That is true. Which means that we do need... a safe area of sorts.
Sure. It's a little cozy spot.
I mean, when I was hoping to have a safe area after this.
I mean, we could get to that point and then add it. There's nothing saying when things have to be involved.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
As long as the things are included with the total math makes sense, we're good.
Okay, so yeah, I would, they would climb this tree, and then there would be almost what I can only describe as an elevator of sorts.
Nice.
Like, they get to the top, and what I specifically had was they went to the top, and there was this hag witch who kind of greeted them and was like, well, okay, you seem to get through the trials of the Berkshire. Well done. You know, come join me for tea. And she would kind of lead them down to essentially her quarters, which was a small little witches type hut inside this giant tree. And, you know, she only led them to the few rooms, but it's apparent that, you know, there's a massive amount of space in this huge tree for God knows what. And then, you know, she kind of allowed them to rest and had the conversation of like, now, of course, you do realize that since you've done this, like, I have to kill you, right?
So it's a safe room until it's a boss fight.
Yeah, like, you know, it's pretty calm and respectful about it all, like, so, you know.
I kind of see why you are requesting 2 pages.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get you a second page here.
I draw things big. I don't know how to draw small.
Okay, I'm just labeling it quick. There we go. We're gonna go to, would you mind just kind of making some notes here about, like, chase up the tree, with, How many spiders did you say you were gonna have? Oh, right, because we had 370 was going to be deducted by a number of spiders.
Yeah, but then we kind of talked about the Jabberwock.
Right. Okay.
So I think just
Jabberwock instead of spooters.
yes. So here I'll actually type it out instead of having you try and read my awful freehand scroll. As tempting as it
can't
is.
be any worse than mine.
Okay, now that sounds like a challenge. Never mind. Chase up tree. Jabber walk time. And if I was good at drawing, I'd try and draw like a little shitty dragon over here. I can try it, but there's its body. It's breathing fire. He's angry looking. He looks more like a weird snake, but ignore that.
I would say, for a little bit there, it kind of looked like a Devil Joe from Monster Hunter.
I can see that. I can see that. Sorry, folks on my end. You can't see my beautiful creation. There you go. I know you were all really concerned about it.
Are you ready for page 2?
I'm ready.
Boop. Oh no, it's another blank white grid.
Oh no!
How horrible!
Yeah, so, there would be like, originally, and of course, it doesn't have to all look like this, like I don't want to make it too terribly complex, but like, there would be kind of the top of tree, and what would be essentially the final boss waiting at the top. But instead, we can kind of skip that part and have basically just, you get to the top and there is like maybe a lever or something, or a switch where you step on it and boop, you go inside the tree. Whether that's by magical shenanigans, whether it's by whatever the heck. You made it to the top. At that point, you're safe. And then you go inside the tree, and that's where the actual safe zone is.
Gotcha. Which gives you plus 500.
So, do I need to draw out the little safe zone?
That depends on how much you're going... is the battle going to include, like, okay, how am I going to question... I'm trying to figure out how to word this question.
Uh-huh.
How much of the house are you expecting to be explored?
Not at all, really. It's basically like a kitchen safe zone of sorts, and then that's it.
That's perfect. So, more akin to, like, Baba Yaga's hut.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
That's a good way of describing it. And then, what I had her do was she essentially, like, you know, they rested, they all felt better. She led them kind of back outside the tree, and the entire ground where they once stood was now a giant, like the hedges had formed an arena around them.
Ooh, so like the giant tree is gone and now they're It's like they're stuck in this battle zone.
Yeah, basically. It was,
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Which is nice too, because I don't imagine an arena is terribly complex. I could be wrong. But okay, so like what I was kind of picturing, I guess this is kind of turning into 4 rooms with the safe room.
Okay.
But like I'm just gonna awkwardly draw like a little box. So we've got little kitchen area. We got some little cupboards. We got a nice little table that people can sit at. I should have these actually drawn on the grid, but screw that, I guess. little
as long as you label what everything is.
Yeah. Little stools.
Otherwise, in a couple weeks, it'll be like, hey, Apple, what's this square?
That's what my art makes people do. I don't know if I've told any members of Mythical Menagerie this. Back not long after I joined Mythical Menagerie is when that color wheel like art thing was really popular.
Oh yeah.
And I decided to draw some like VTuber friends on it. And I was like, oh my god, it would be so cute to draw one for members of Mythical Menagerie.
Pretty cool.
And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't remember what stopped me. I think it was just we didn't have like a member for one specific color, and it made me too sad. But I was gonna like awkwardly like roughly draw everyone that I could. And then I think what also stopped me is the knowledge that I'm not a good artist, and so many people in our group are amazing artists.
Giovanna says, do you remember the color? I'll rebrand.
I want to say, look, what? I feel like I need to look at everyone quick.
I can maybe see orange, but we do have like 1 or 2 people with orange hair in their sonas.
No.
So
Orange was fine because we had
orange was fine.
Gurulina is pretty solidly
yeah.
orange. Yellow, I know, was a challenge. And then
don't we have at least 1 person with yellow eyes?
I mean, I have yellow eyes. I could just draw myself.
Yeah.
Yellow was a bit of a challenge, and I think cyan. Cyan? How do you pronounce that? I don't know.
I think it is cyan. However, I'm forgetting what that looks like.
It's like the light blue.
Okay.
This was back not long after I joined, so we have a few more members now.
We do. I know purple's covered.
Yeah, we've got so much purple and green. We've got like a ton of green between the goblins and you. We're good.
I think I know who would work. Serenity Nightwolf.
Serenity is someone I was thinking about because most of her aesthetic is white, but she does have like the cyan background. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll revisit it and we'll see. My problem is too for stuff like that. Like I want to draw everyone. I don't want anyone to feel like discluded. And it's like now that we have more members as well, that just gets harder and harder.
Yeah, it's the more we grow, the harder that's gonna be.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool to commission someone for like, hey, can we just have like a it looked like a group photo, but it's legit just all of our sonas.
Here's a crappy little sink. I guess I don't know what sinks look like.
I think a square rectangle that works. It's got the two sinks, one for washing, one for drying / cooking in.
I don't know how modernized this setting is, so I don't know what I'm working with.
So, I'm using the system as a vehicle. Tailspire has both fantasy and futuristic.
Okay.
So, if you wanted suddenly sci-fi stuff, I can weirdly do that.
All right. Interesting. This is a fire pit. Or, like, fireplace.
Fire!
Hi, Lawson! How are you doing? There we go. But yeah, it's nothing fancy. It's just kind of a rough little kitchen. But then, that's where kind of the final boss would be. How goes topping the RPGs? We are currently dungeon designing, which has been interesting. I have like a rough idea of a dungeon, but I'm having to kind of modify things in interesting ways, and I'm having fun with it.
I will say, so this is the final boss fight, yeah?
Yes.
So you currently have 370 points.
Uh-huh.
And I'm curious what you're going to do with them. Especially after spending 500 on the Jabberwock.
Well, any budget not used on creatures, traps, and rooms will be used for the final boss.
That is correct. So this is going to be a custom hag / old witch / whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I haven't quite decided if that's what I'm going with, but I think it'd be more fun if it was.
Okay. Let's see here. So what I could do...
Especially because I already threw the Jabberwock at him. Like...
Yeah, fair.
So not a whole lot more I could get after that. Like...
So what I could do, because of, the point categories of this system, spend 250 on this final character, and then that would save 120 on just things that might be living in this final arena.
Okay.
So like an animated tree is 100. So there could just be a walking tree and like 2 animated plants that aid this final boss.
That makes sense to me. Part of me, like... I mean, I have the whole witch aesthetic, which is what this came from originally. The other part of me wants so desperately for this to just be me. And for it to be like, how fucking dare you mess with my pet Jabberwock? He's just hanging out.
He's just vibing, you jerk.
Y'all walked into our territory.
Oh, especially if if the party somehow manages to take out the Jabberwock. Ooh, like... That is interesting. With, like, the vengeance of the mother of the pet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that it might happen, it might not. But I think that would make it especially interesting if I were to have, like, little aids.
Otherwise, I would also be completely amused if they didn't kill the Jabberwock, but the Jabberwock comes in during, like, phase 2 of the boss fight.
Oh my god. Would that be super mean?
So, it wouldn't be the max level they could face. A lot of the other people who have made dungeons have done their best to sink 1,000 points into the final fight.
So I'd actually be pretty tame by comparison.
Right now, it is pretty tame, and I haven't experimented with just how lethal that is for a party of adventurers.
Okay.
I will say we are going with 4 people, so
yes,
I am very entertained. The other groups could completely party wipe, and this could be our first dungeon with survivability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. And I I want it to be challenging, but I want people ideally to be able to get through it, because that just makes it more fun. Yeah, but I do love the idea of, is it possible to have it as an either or, as the Jabberwocky comes, or the Jabberwock comes if he's still alive, and then the awaken kind of plants and stuff don't. But
okay, so kind of have it where if the Jabberwock is still alive, it participates, and then it's just the 2 of them as the final fight. If Jabberwock is dead, then the plants wake up.
I'd still like it to be a case of, no matter what, it would probably start with just her, and then once we reach maybe a halfway point, it's okay, all right, Jabberwock, or all right, plants, come on down.
Okay. I like that idea. Let's make some quick notes about that.
Yes. Sorry, I'm wanting to start drawing what I kind of picture this arena looking like.
Of course.
So I'm imagining all of this kind of outlining is all hedge. The tree at this point is just completely gone. And it's almost like a big open area.
Also, I like what you're thinking, Ciabatta. Could be you fight the witch, or the witch forces you to go fight the Jabberwock.
That is
it could kind of work like that.
Yeah.
Which, if everything works out well, at least last I checked, but Ciabatta will be making a dungeon next week with me.
Ooh, that's exciting.
So I guess this is some research time, seeing what's all going into it.
I am going to hydrate, I will check my posture, and I will stretch. Thank you, Alasan. Oh, stretching made me very...
also do these things.
Stretching made me very small, apparently. There we go. I will also head pats. I will give head pats to GM as well.
What now? Sorry?
You've got head pats. That's all it is.
Head pats.
Everyone gets head pats. If I get head pats, everyone I'm collabing with gets head pats, which will be really chaotic if someone redeems head pats during my Among Us collab at the end of the month.
Also, Ciabatta, the points have already been spent on the Jabberwock. He popped up earlier, but it was meant to be more like a chase to make it seem like the party couldn't face it.
Yeah.
Which I had a question about that chase.
Yes.
So, with that chase, are they climbing the tree, or is it they're able to run up it?
I originally had it where they're climbing. But I don't know how difficult climbing is.
Not awful, but I'm curious about how difficult that will make the fight.
Yes. Yeah, that's my kind of worry. If they do try and engage.
Okay.
I don't know what to add to this arena. I had a good mental image of it, and now it's just gone. I do imagine this is almost domed, by the way. Like, I know it's one big kind of rectangle, but, like, I imagine at this point, like, the hedges have grown so much that you can't see above. Like, it is just hedge. So they are, like, literally completely closed off.
Gotcha. Okay. Also, Ciabatta, I'm trying to understand what you're... right, but then you have another 300 points to spend on the Jabberwock. So, from what we've been kind of talking, it's going to be the 250 spent on this final boss form, who's going to start the fight regardless. And then if the Jabberwock survived the previous encounter, then it'll be coming back.
Yes.
During the second phase.
Yes. That's what I was thinking.
But if it doesn't come back, like if it died before, then there's still 170 points, which could be used for, no, not 170, 120 points that could be used for extra creatures, which I had suggested doing an animated tree and 2 animated plants, but really it's whatever Appleseed wants to use. There's a huge bestiary. And that's not even the whole bestiary. Those are just ones where it's like, I have models that could work for these without getting mods.
Well, right now I'm leaning towards more, instead of the kind of witch, it being something that's a bit more representative of me. Of, like, a great kind of druid.
Fair.
And specifically, like, a plant druid, which is what I am. So, I'm an awakened tree, and animated plants would make sense. Oh my god, I keep sneezing.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Also, I see what you're saying, Ciabatta boy. As an either-or kind of situation. Okay.
I've selected the circle. I can't seem to move the circle, but that is alright.
Would you like me to move it?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's more just like these are rough starting points for where they'll start in the fight. Like party on one side, her on the other. Jabberwock will swoop in from somewhere. I don't know what I want the actual arena floor to look like.
Could be dirt.
I mean, dirt would make the most logical sense, especially because if the Jabberwock dies, I do love the idea of, like, Druid just kind of, like, gesturing to the ground and, like, these awakened plants just rise up.
Ooh. I do like that. Ooh, more head pats.
Why is my fan not working? Hang on one sec.
Oh no.
It's just very hot in here. Why is my fan not working? One moment.
Take all the time you need.
Okay, weird. I just had to plug it into a different outlet, apparently.
Oh! You think a circuit blew?
I don't know. It's possible. It could also have been that, I don't know, something just went weird.
Huh.
But anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking like a dirt floor. Potential for plants to kind of come out. I don't know if I really want much in terms of like terrain.
Okay.
I mean, vines are always fun, but I do want this to be a fairly fair fight. I'm just gonna make, whoops, I'm still on the drawing shapes tool, so those all turned out to be little squares instead of little lines like I intended. I'm just gonna make a bunch of random little markings. This is all dirt.
It's dirt.
It's dirt.
Dirty.
It's dirt. It's all dirty.
Just a big ball of dirt.
A big ball of dirt. This is where we're learning some facts about me, friends. I can story tell something real good. However, descriptions of what things look like are not my strong suit. So, I can give you a character that'll make you cry in a goddamn second just because I'm a decent enough actress and I write a good enough backstory, but if you ask me to describe to you what that character is wearing that day, I'll go, So while I have a mental image, I cannot think of how to translate that.
I mean, I'm kind of just assuming, I'm gonna have to see what tiles I have available to use, but I'm assuming as garden-like as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, I wanna hope that was obvious.
Kind of if it doesn't look like again, just depending on options, kind of more of a mulchy look.
Yeah, mulchy, just something that looks, something that looks like a kind of garden wood, backwoods type of thing.
Gotcha, okay. Backwoods garden.
But I don't want it to be anything super complex. Just kind of, party starts on one side, she starts on one side, and then it's a free-for-all from there. I would imagine if the Jabberwock is still alive, it would kind of swoop in here.
Okay.
I'll just write a note. Jabberwock, if alive. Oh, Jabberwock, here, comes in on phase 2. Phase 2, I'm... Oh my god.
No dying.
I make no promises. Like I said, my partner has a cold. I'm probably getting that.
Oh.
I have the worst immune system. The fact that I haven't gotten it sooner is honestly a miracle.
Make sure to drink your water and have some nice soup or something.
But, yeah, I picture phase 2 being half health or, something along that. That's typically when a phase 2 starts.
Gotcha. And then phase 2 is going to be either the Jabberwock.
The Jabberwock or the plants, which I'm going to draw roughly where I'd want those to come in. I'm going to use red just because... Or no, I'll do purple. We haven't had purple on here. So I guess it is kind of in relation to wherever she is at the time.
Gotcha. Okay.
But like that dot for the plants. So I could do 2 awakened plants and 1 awakened tree, correct?
Yes.
Or animated, not awakened, but same shit.
I understood what you meant.
The animated tree. I also kind of love the idea of her just gesturing and then a tree just grows out of nowhere. And ideally,
I do like that.
If that could be right in front of someone in the party. It could be random, if that's possible.
Sounds good. Just kind of
like,
throw someone.
Yeah, like just, hi, now there's a tree in front of you. Good luck.
Good luck with the battle. By the way, here's a tree. Just gonna throw down this magical acorn.
Oh, I'm sorry, this battle didn't look like it had enough awakened trees. Want some more?
And now imagine it's just that, I think it was Cherrymon was the awakened tree from Digimon. Just wakes up, talks in a very, what was, like a Brooklyn accent, and then starts beating people up.
Okay. Awakened tree, phase 2, in front of random party member. And that's only if the Jabberwock dies.
If only.
Awakened plant on phase 2. And then another awakened plant on phase 2. Alright.
And it looks like we have a complete dungeon.
It looks as though we do. Oh my lord.
And now comes the fun bit. Well, that's all fun, let's be real here.
Yeah.
Making Little Appleseed in Hero Forge.
Ba ba ba!
And I have one question right off the bat.
Uh-huh.
Traditional folklore goblin or like a Paizo goblin, or looking at your Sona here, kind of just a green halfling?
I know green halfling is what a lot of people have used to make Appleseed when making Hero Forge, like, fan art in the past. And that's what I find works best for her.
Which, I mean, cottagecore is the best, let's be real here.
True. So true.
That is also, like, my partner's aesthetic.
I'm a cottagecore queen.
Cottagecore queen.
Cottagecore queen, you guys. When I started streaming, I told myself that I was gonna stream 2 main things. I was gonna do the occasional, like, really big JRPG, and I was gonna do a lot of, like, cottagecore type stuff. So I was gonna do a lot of Minecraft, a lot of Stardew, like, other similar, like, farming type sims. And now I just do indie games mostly, so I don't know what happened exactly, but I'm not complaining.
Well, I mean,
I love doing indies.
Indie games are so fun. Let's see here. I think those are good.
And I have stuck to a very, like, I like a comfy aesthetic. I enjoy doing things that are a bit more relaxed. Occasionally, especially with August being a thing, I like to do stuff that's a bit more out of my comfort zone. So I did, like, Dead by Daylight a bit ago. Serenity Nightwolf and I are actually doing Phasmo next week.
Ooh,
Uh,
nice.
Which I haven't played Phasmo in a very long time, and I get very easily scared, so that'll be fun. She kept saying she'd protect me. Should I also pull up Hero Forge? Should I also be looking at options here?
If you like, otherwise I could also, in Discord, just kinda, let me see here. What we could do is we could each make a version of your character.
That's true.
Kind of see, and then compare them at the end, and see which one you like better.
Okay, sure.
But, I feel you, Ciabatta boy. Told myself I was going to be an RTS gamer. Now I do horror. I feel that is... So, that's kind of how I went as well. I was going to do mostly strategy games. I still wanted to focus on tabletop primarily, and I'm still working on getting that as my thing. But horror has definitely become a bigger focus, especially with all the groups I'm involved in. It's like, yes, we're just gonna primarily do horror from now on.
Yeah, like for me it started as just like there were so many comfy, cozy indies coming out that I wanted to play. And then it just kind of became a shift where I'm like, I'm doing a lot of indie game content and I kind of really like it. So, I don't know. I kind of made a bit of a name for myself as just like an indie game streamer primarily. With a lot of Pokemon in between.
I know, I guess I'm kind of becoming a Warhammer streamer.
Yeah, you do a lot of Warhammer stuff. I can see people easily associating that with you.
I mean, with Warhammer Wednesday, it's hard not to avoid.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, no, I think I want more of a halfling face than I do. I'm looking at my own model.
Just because I can only see the top half of your Sona, does your goblin self have a tail or no?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Yes, that small indie game Pokemon. Yeah, small independent devs. I really urge you guys to check it out. I hear it's like, I hear it's pretty good. Do goblins have tails? Some do. I've met a lot more goblins than one might think that have tails.
I think it might be like a cross of mythology where people are taking the troll look and just apply that to goblins.
Yeah, which is fair.
And I have seen a fair amount of goblins with rat tails.
Yes. Yeah, rat tails are pretty common. I found, like, it depends on the kind of subsection of goblin. Like, there's some, like, if you're a sea goblin, you might have more of a, like, kind of finned mermaid-like tail.
Fair.
I feel like Bringles might have a tail, too. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I feel like Bringles does.
I do know I have thought about rebranding, like, not rebrand. So I might do like one of the people who inspired me, where I might have like a second Sona in my channel. Just because I do so much horror content, I might just make a dedicated horror Sona, or at least a folklore / horror Sona, who is a troll.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think it'd be a... Yeah, you were saying?
Sorry, I was gonna just say, I don't like the patchy hair, but it's one of the closest things to vines. And that's what my hair is.
You know, Ciabatta boy, thank you for that, yeah. who's to say what my monster form manifests as? Could be a troll, could be a kaiju. I did find some hair, but that I think works. But we'll have to see your approval. Currently, I'm on outfits, and it's like, ooh, I kind of found one that kind of looks like I'm trying to figure out how to describe the outfit that you have.
It's a potato sack dress.
Okay, I was gonna say
no,
burlap.
it's 100. It literally like I'm holding up my model for folks on my end. It literally says potato on the side. Like it's an actual potato sack.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
It's the pinnacle of fashion.
So I've been trying to find like rugged outfits, but all of them, at least popping up on this model, just have like really excessive boob windows, which I don't think fit your personality. It's like I just want burlap sack, yeah.
Not true at Appleseed, at least. Perhaps Bard. But no, what you were saying about like the alternate forms, that's what I originally like thought about doing with my alternate Appleseed forms, where it was like I got Bard commissioned first, as like I did a lot of karaoke streams and stuff, so I was like, oh, here's a specific like Appleseed variant I can use for stuff like that. And then I had different like fun role-playing stuff that I did with it too. But then I kind of had the thought of like, yeah, why am I like I like the alternate forms. I have fun with the role-playing with them, but why are they kind of restricting me? Like it's a lot more fun if I'm doing a stream and just all of a sudden randomly someone redeems Barbarian Appleseed and now I've got to be really pissed about everything. Like, that's so much more fun.
Okay, yeah, both you and Ciabatta are definitely convincing me. I think I might make a troll form.
It's fun. I do recommend alternate forms to folks. I am currently rocking with almost half of the 5th edition classes. I've got Druid, Bard, Cleric, Warlock, and Barbarian now. So
I play so many systems that I'm not sure that I could do that and be sane.
Well, Appleseed originally was a D&D, like, 5th edition character, so I'm basing my things off 5th edition D&D.
Fair.
Although the temptation has been there to just delve into various RPG classes, so, like, you know, while Necromancer in 5th edition D&D is an offset of Wizard, I kind of want just a separate Necromancer Appleseed.
That would be so cool and would be appropriate for Halloween.
Yeah!
Which, if you ever want to try out some weird RPGs, let me know. I've been dabbling in a lot of varied RPGs.
I'm always down to try out whatever. Like, really. I just like games. I like to play games. These ears are not...
I went with elf ears.
I'm wondering, yeah.
Let me see here.
Because the goblin ears are good. They just... they need to be pointed more up instead of to the side.
Oh geez, that scarf is ridiculous. Just clicked on the large wrapped scarf, and it almost took over your entire head.
As it should.
Fur collar, nope, that is...
Fun
let's
fact,
see here.
When I See, Chibata, you fucking get me. I've made that exact same joke. Necro Appleseed is a necrotic, like, planter. It's like rotten apples and shit instead of corpses.
The compost bin.
I love that! I love that so much. But no, fun fact about Appleseed when I played her as a character, I just through, like, gifts, mostly. I had, like, a lot of different cloaks and shawls and stuff on her. And so she was walking around, like, you know, regularly wearing, like, 4 or 5 different cloaks all at one time that she just never took off.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
I love looking at my, oh yeah, make her fucking huge. And it's like, nope, I can't. I am nothing but teeny. And then
Let's see here.
And then the heat stroke gotcha. You see, it was all fine and dandy until we accidentally went into the elemental plane of fire. Then it was not so fine and dandy.
Let's see. I'm trying to find, like, a lower half for you that just looks like I'm gonna find the ultimate burlap, I swear.
It was great. It was great till we went to that dungeon in Florida. Yeah, basically.
Let's see here. Chibata saying, you could be a psychic phage entity, changing your form to the victim's fear like Pennywise. Ooh. Okay. I mean, I love horror stuff. It's the point when I started dabbling into new RPGs, I was like, you know what?
I chose a girl, right? Did I do that? I don't remember. Sorry, go on.
Looked like it? I was, just basically, I've been learning about more and more horror RPGs, including, the one we're using for this dungeon stuff. It's meant to be a bit more of a horror style. But it's, forgot where I was going with that. My brain has done the shut off. I am playing dress up and that is consuming my entire brain.
Me when I was a child, though. I was absolutely one of those children that, like my family was one of the first in our, like, community, or my small town, to get, like, computers and stuff, because my dad worked in computers. And so it was like, we always got, like, the high-end stuff first, I guess. And I just remember, like, hours upon hours of going on, like, dress-up websites as a child. Just playing dress-up games, and I could be entertained by that for, like, ages.
I feel that. I both did and didn't do that. A lot of, it wasn't online stuff mostly. It was mostly, I'd get into the old WWE games.
Gotcha.
And just make wrestlers who looked as inhuman as possible.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I would just lose hours and hours, but it's, once I got more into role-play games, that's when it's like, yes. Especially after finding Hero Forge here, just like, how can I customize my characters? And God, especially with how much stuff has come out. Jeez. Look at the shoes! What are those?
I know, I could spend, like, hours now Just on Hero Forge, like making a character. Easily.
I've been using it to make NPCs for my campaigns since since I've been unemployed for the majority of a year at this point. It's like, right, commissioning artists. That's a thing. So yeah, and Hero Forge has been very, very helpful in that regard.
Absolutely. Okay. I need a good skirt for my sack dress.
Now, I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
What does this final boss version of your Sona wield for a weapon, if any weapons? This could also include like a staff for like channeling your magics.
Yeah, I do feel like I'd have some sort of staff. Like a cool vine wrapped staff.
I think I've seen some. Let me see here.
I do imagine her mostly being spellcastery.
I had a feeling. Holy crap! Dual-bladed chainsaws? Excuse me?
Hi, Death! How are you doing?
Also, Alcadron. Are you now also making Hero Forge characters?
Valid. Rock on.
Oh, there is a staff button. Okay. Ooh.
I thought there
Gnarled
was.
willow staff. Ooh. What is? Oh, that's a microphone. Okay.
Infernal hand staff. Spooky. Ah! Jesus!
Another raid?
Yeah, this time from Sipco. Twink Sut, hi! How are you doing?
Hi, guys.
Hi! Welcome! How are you doing? How was your stream? What were you up to today?
You still can't carry more, but you just have more room to organize things.
Yes, the most druid staff to ever exist.
Oh, no,
the
Judy.
skull staff.
I killed Sue with a tree.
Truly.
Twink, you killed Sut!
Killed me!
You killed Sut!
I mean, she just happened to be under.
Oh,
one of the
no.
trees, so I can't help you. At least you're
No!
being
The bird is here to shame me.
That's so funny. Hi, Raiders. Welcome, welcome. If you don't know me, I'm Appleseed. I'm your friendly neighborhood goblin druid. I play a lot of comfy cozy games. I do a lot of indie game stuff. I do a lot of Pokemon content. I talk about D&D and musical theater way too much. And more than anything, I just like to have a comfy cozy time where we can relax and de-stress from the craziness of the world. And today we are making some lovely dungeon stuff with the wonderful GMTheGameMonster, another member of Mythical Menagerie, alongside myself and Tweak and Sut.
Hi, everybody.
We have already finished making the actual dungeon, which is kind of a mazy, chasey. It's a lot. It's fun though. There's a big maze, then there's like a chase where a Jabberwock is chasing you. Then you get to rest for a bit, and then you fight me. Me.
Yes, truly the most cruel thing in the entire dungeon
Well, they're gonna
is
learn.
our little Gobbo friend.
They're gonna learn pretty quick that, yeah. You thought the Jabberwock was a fucker?
Let's see here.
I don't know which of these staffs I want to go with.
I am very entertained by the fact that our versions look so different.
Do they? Okay, I'm curious. The dragon staff is kind of tempting because of the Jabberwock.
I was thinking about that.
I think I'm gonna go with it, personally. But you were playing more Twilight Princess today. That's wonderful. I really need to replay Twilight Princess. I was talking to my partner, and it's been way too long since I played Twilight Princess.
So I'm about to make all y'all sad.
Have you never?
I have not played a single Legend of Zelda game.
What? I probably peaked really loud so that you didn't even catch me on Discord. But I did a very...
I heard it.
Okay.
I heard it.
Good.
Good.
What?
Yeah, I have never played a Legend of Zelda game.
But by choice? Sorry. That sounds mean.
Let's see, it's at first, not by choice, but then it's just... When I finally could play their games, I just got sucked into other ones and never really had, like... The first Nintendo console that we had in our house was the Wii. And the game that I was most excited for was, I'm willing to bet people could guess this one from a mile away, but... Godzilla Unleashed.
That's alright, that's fair.
And yeah, it's a there were some other games I definitely played on the Wii, but Godzilla was like my go-to.
I just like can't. I've been playing Zelda games for such a long time that I can't fathom the idea of not. It's one of those things to me, you know?
I will say I had the next best thing in college. My best friend and roommate of many years, whenever he would play a Legend of Zelda game, I would just watch him.
Oh, gotcha.
So I have seen the entirety of Skyward Sword, both Hyrule Warriors, and a good chunk of Breath of the Wild.
Okay. So you're not like completely unexposed. It's just you personally have never played a Zelda game.
Correct.
Gotcha. That makes a bit more sense. I've made my girl very fluorescent. That was not my intention with her skin. But it's hard to make it not look that way. There we go. That's a bit better. That's a good shade, I think. Yeah, like Apple's radioactive. I played like Ocarina of Time was one of the first games I ever really remember like playing. So I can't imagine. I can't imagine not playing a Zelda game.
Yeah, it's my first console was the PC.
Fair enough.
And the first game I ever remembered playing was Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness. So, like, before, like, way, way, way before World was even a thought.
I like. My first console, I want to say, was Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I never had a Game Boy until like closest thing I ever got was a 3DS that I bought myself when I was in college.
I want to say it was a Game Boy Color. We had, again, like, my dad worked in technology, so we did end up getting a lot of things. So it was like, you know, I had a Game Boy Color, and then not long after that we got a PlayStation, we bought an N64, and eventually just... we had most things at some point. I feel like I want these to be these kind of eyes. Maybe adjust them a little bit, but...
I gotta say, I absolutely love the variety in eyes.
yeah, there's a lot of different eye options, which is really nice. Oh my god, I did not realize that it's like almost 9:30 already.
Yeah, wow. Time flies when you're having fun
Yeah.
and planning for the destruction of a group of adventurers.
After this, I'm gonna have to go to bed though, because I do work early in the morning.
No, that's fair. I'm getting up at 5 o'clock, so I
Oh
feel
dear
you.
God. I used to have to. I live a lot closer to my work now, but when I lived in like my old house, or my old apartment rather, I was like needing to get up for 6 to get to work for a shift that started at 7:30. It was just like the worst. I hated it.
Yeah, I will say, I have worked worse than what I have now, and especially since, you know, it's a 90-minute drive to work, roughly. So, and that's just for training. It ends tomorrow.
Well, that's good at least. It's not for a super duper long time.
You know, Sleep is for the Weak. That's a good song. Highly recommend.
Sleep is for sleep is for the me.
You see, that is the truth. Okay, so I'm legit looking forward to Sleep in the next month or so, and here's why. I'm explaining this really morbid statement I just said.
Go on.
I recently did a sleep study
Okay.
and discovered I have sleep apnea,
Oh no.
and I'm working on getting a CPAP machine.
Okay.
From what I've heard, once you have that, it's life-changing. Because with sleep apnea, I'm not sure how much everyone is aware of it, so I'm just going to explain it. You basically stop breathing when you're sleeping. And so typically your body will wake up. And it's usually a panicked response. It's, you know how sometimes when you're falling asleep and then you feel like you're falling, so you just twitch awake.
Uh-huh.
It's that, except you're suffocating.
Oh, dear God.
And it can cause bad sleep. But also, because your body is thinking you're dying, you are constantly producing stress chemicals instead of resting. As long as I can remember, I have always been tired. Just perpetually tired. And I've always had issues where no matter what I do, I still gain weight, things like that. Starting in college, I started grinding my teeth in my sleep.
Okay.
And I think it's all tied to this. And with the CPAP machine, my memory should be improving, my stress levels going down, which should affect so many other things, and I'll actually be able to have a good night's sleep, which I know I'm at least in the bad range, because if it happened just a little bit, I think it was like feels like 30 or less times in the night, they wouldn't have woken me up. They just would have been like, okay, we got it. But it was more than that, because they woke me up to put the machine on my face.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm in the I definitely need a machine category, because it's weird. Insurance would not have covered them putting the machine on my face if it wasn't that higher amount. But I still could have gotten a CPAP machine even if it wasn't that high. So I'm high enough that not only do I get a machine, but it was bad enough they're like, we need to fix this now.
Yeah.
Fix it now.
It was okay, this is an immediate issue.
So, and I've heard some people where it's like, oh yeah, once I got the CPAP machine, I slept well that night, and then I couldn't fall asleep the next night because I was so well rested that I had too much energy.
Wow. That's so interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, during that whole sleep study, I maybe got 5 hours of sleep, but it was I felt like I got 8 hours of sleep.
It's amazing how, like, something can make you feel so relaxed. Like, I still haven't done it since, and I don't know why. But, many, many years ago, I was living with, two friends. One of which knew, like, I had really bad anxiety and stuff. And was like, okay, I want to book you a, like, sensory, deprivation, like, flotation session. So, like, one of those weird, like, float tanks where it's basically like a pod you go in, you just float there. You can close the door if you want. There can be music if you want. You can put earplugs in if you want. And you just float. In, like, just water that's filled to the brim with, like, bath salt to the point where it's so salty that you just float there. And I immediately was like, this sounds terrifying, because the idea of, like, you know, being alone, even just floating there for, like, an hour with my thoughts sounds awful. Like...
mood.
I would rather, like, I'm someone who, like, you know, every second that I'm not doing something feels like a waste. I need to be constantly moving. I need to be constantly, like, busy. And he was like, just try it. Like, I'll pay for it. You know, you won't have to pay a thing. Just try it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So, both him and I booked floats same day. And I went in. I didn't close the door to it or anything. But they, like, dimmed the lights, so you're basically in the dark. They gave little earplugs, which I decided to put in, and I just, like, floated there. and kind of just let my mind wander, which normally for me is not great. But it was like the most relaxed hour of my entire life.
Oh.
Because I was just floating, and it was kind of just this feeling of like, yeah, just let my troubles melt away for a bit. And just be. And I've like spent the rest of my time trying to like chase that high that I felt then.
I did have a similar moment, although I don't think it was as much, but I definitely had a moment where it was the first time I'd gone camping in years. My partner was insisting that I come along. I was stressed with all these things. There was a lot of stuff with work, personal projects.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's like, I can't go camping because I need to spend time to do this, or else I'm going to fall behind and it's going to be awful. I have to do this. And she was just like, nope, you're coming along. We're going to go camping.
Yeah.
In the middle of October. We're going to go camping. It's like, okay. And
Alright.
it was so relaxing. Like, I don't know how to explain just how good it felt to unplug. It was just so pleasant to just not have to worry about things.
Yeah. No, I can imagine.
I love love.
Speak of the devil, hi Gremlin.
Devil. Which bitch?
Going to bed, sweetheart?
Mm-hmm.
Ready. Everyone say goodnight to Gremlin.
Good night, Gremlin.
Good night, everyone.
Love you.
Love you too.
Would you mind turning on the lights? Yeah. Hey, I can see again.
Imagine being able to see.
What? Nah. Also, I'll take a look at those Alcadron. Let me see here. Let me look. Is it rotted and covered in guck? Ooh, that's a nice gobbo. I think that's a gobbo. Is that a dryad? Oh, is that your version of Appleseed?
What?
Alcadron, do you mind if I send that to Appleseed?
Please, if you don't mind, I'd love to see it.
Okay, let me just... I will say, if you ever do a karaoke stream again and you want someone to join you, let me know.
I have literally been wanting people to join me for karaoke for so long, and so many people have been like, hey, if you want a guest for karaoke, I'd be happy to. And then I'm like, okay, when? And then it just never happens.
Okay.
Oh
When?
my god!
Let's pick a date. Let's do it.
Alcadron, this is so cute! Oh my lord!
I know, right?
I love
It's
it!
really good.
I love that! That's so cute! Thank you! If you don't mind, can I put that in my fan art reel? I have like a starting soon screen. I alternate like fan art stuff. Do you mind if I add that in there? I give credit to whoever like drew it each time. Ah, thank you. I love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
And I will be sending you mine.
I'm just finishing the final little details on mine. Mostly the details on the Jabberwock.
which I went with more of a druidy staff, but
I thought about doing that, but then I'm like, I kind of want the Jabberwock to be represented.
no, that is completely fair. Couldn't find the best thing for a burlap, so it's fur-lined.
That's okay. I'll look at yours as soon as I'm done mine. That way I'm
No worries.
sending
No
mine
worries.
as I'm looking at yours. And I'll be able to feel inferior about mine.
I wouldn't say inferior, just definitely different. Mind you, you're making you, so you have the home advantage here.
I do, but that doesn't mean anything.
We'll say that I think you spent more time on the face than I did, but the faces are like, I am bad at faces.
The one major thing that I did is I used a gnome face instead.
Oh, yeah, I kept a halfling face. The kind of just kept the pre-made round face.
No.
Sounds like one of my dogs is being a brat. Peanut.
I'm surprised I haven't heard my cat being a brat.
For some reason, around this time of night, instead of laying in bed and being a sleepy girl, Peanut will just go into the landing, which is right between my office and our bedroom, and will just start digging.
You know what?
This'll
I don't know why I gave myself shoes, because I know myself and I don't wear shoes.
I'm gonna say I made you barefoot, but I gave you some leaf anklets.
Aw, cute.
I was like, I need a little bit more nature in there.
I also... Oops. Wanted a little bit... just a little bit darker green in certain areas. Okay. Now...
While you're working on that, I discovered something a little bit before our stream started.
Oh?
And I just remembered it now. Yay for my brain. But the system that we're using for the playthrough is Shadow of the Demon Lord, right? Well, something I've been kind of looking forward to is that is someone. Well, the creator has talked about how he's looking to approach the system again, but like a less R-rated version, because he went with like the grim dark and like body horror and things like that. And so he's been talking about this less R-rated version, and apparently the Kickstarter is going live in the next day or two.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's called Shadow of the Weird Wizard.
Interesting.
Now, not sponsored, but so far I'm a big fan of his two roleplay systems that I have done some dabbling in. Those have been Shadow of the Demon Lord and Punk Apocalyptic. Just in case you ever saw Junkertown from Overwatch and was like, I want to do an entire roleplay setting like that. And yeah, so far it's all good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I might be doing some Shadow Demon Lord stuff on stream here in the next few months with spooky season fast approaching.
My god, I need to plan stuff for October. I haven't even thought about it yet.
See, I've been kind of torn. Last year was kind of an Orktober kind of thing. But this year, I'm torn between like just doing generic spooky things, or there is so much for it. Having it themed off of the Alien franchise.
Oh, interesting. That'd be fun.
Because there's so many Alien games, but there's also the Alien tabletop roleplay game.
See, Death, this is where you're gonna get disappointed, because typically for October I do cozy everything. On Halloween, or near Halloween, as close to Halloween as I can, I like to do a big cozathon, usually. Where it's just, hey, you don't want to watch people play spooky games? Then come hang out with me, and we'll just do cozy shit. This is for all the people that get really spooked by things. Like me.
No, that's fair. That's completely valid. Like...
And I think it's an untapped market, honestly.
There needs to be more spoop. Like, yeah, we have plenty of spooky, but now we need some spoopy.
Yeah, like, I don't mind playing a game that's like, here's a kind of cozier game, but it's got spooky vibes.
You know, I have a game to recommend to you.
Go on.
If you're... I believe it's called Witchwood.
I have been meaning to check out Witchwood. I haven't yet. I've heard good things. And it's been on my list to check out.
It's really good. It's got that spooky vibe, but it is very cozy, and the soundtrack is so soothing. Like, I've had... Mind you, I didn't play it. I watched my partner play it, but she had a blast. And, yeah, the art style, the music, it's all just so charming and cozy.
All right, good to know. Okay.
Me?
I think I am done.
Ah, yeah.
I'm going
Like
to
it.
Send this over. And I know you can see mine.
The Great Appleseed.
The Great Appleseed, as opposed to the not great Appleseed. Interesting. Okay. I would not have picked that hair, but I'm not necessarily against it.
It was the closest I could find. At least to what I could... Because, just looking at your model, it's like, kinda dreads, but not quite.
Yeah, they're designed to be vines. So it's like... It's
okay.
I have literal vines growing out of my head.
Okay.
So it's kind of a dreads-like thing, but not quite.
Now, whichever you would prefer to use, that's what's going to be going in.
This is hard. Honestly, Alcadrons is a strong contender. I really like it.
It is a really good one. I really like the plants on the arm. And Alcadron, I really love what you did with the face.
Yeah, same. Like, I actually really like it. Honestly, I think I would go with that.
Alcadron.
If that's cool with you, Alcadron, of course.
Yeah. If you're cool, would you be okay with us using that model in the dungeon? And if so, would you mind sending
doing a bit of extra work? Alcadron says. It is not complete. I'm curious.
That's my exact feeling as well.
Color me intrigued.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that uses that phrase. Like, yeah, Alcadron, if you're cool with us using it, if you are, then when you go to your your character model, go to the hero tab, and click the share button. I think that will, I do believe that gives us a link where we can,
I do believe, yes.
yes, where then I can actually view it and could potentially save a copy of it, which will make it easier for uploading into the dungeon. Or rather, into the program of Tailspire.
The Tailspire.
Maniacal laugh.
I
Maniacal laugh.
am a spooky goblin.
Just the spookiest.
While I don't have a lot planned for Halloween yet. Something I did do last year, or I tried to. I didn't do a lot of streams because I was dealing with some stuff at the time. But for every stream I did, I tried to find a different, like, VTuber asset for my model that I could add as, like, a costume piece.
Ooh.
And so I have an idea for a final costume for Halloween, specifically. And a whole joke and gimmick to go along with it. And I'm looking forward to it.
That's the thing. I think it might be too late for me to commission the artwork for it, but I've been thinking about doing a spooky version of my Sona, but it's more like my redesign is going to be ready just in time for Halloween.
Aw, Alcaron, I love it! She looks so good. I'm a big fan.
So yeah, if that's still your favorite, then
Yeah, no,
Alcaron,
I love it.
you could send me the link. We could show it off in stream, and then also save it so that it can be put into the dungeon, and then we'll have our final boss.
Our final boss, the great and powerful moi.
And then the dungeon's complete in all of its beautiful glory. And oh, here we go. Let me just make sure that works. I think it's gonna work.
You think so?
Methinks. Yes. It has
Yay!
worked swimmingly. I'll send it to you so that we can both bring it up.
Please do. Oops.
Yes.
Forest
That's
witch.
just.
I like that. I am a forest witch.
I really like that.
I'm a big fan. I think that looks so good.
That looks so good. I'm absolutely saving.
Yeah, I'm saving that. I'm adding that to my fan art reel. That's absolutely, like, chef's kiss. Hats off to you. Big fan.
So good. Well done, Alcadron. Well done. But I think we should find someone to raid.
I do believe so. Thank you.
Double raid. Double raid.
Thank you for inviting me to do this with you. This was a lot of fun.
Of course. Yeah, I really like this idea for collabs, and I'm open for doing more. I love making dungeons. I love seeing other people's creative ideas for dungeons, and I've been really enjoying making people's final boss monsters in Hero Forge.
Hell yeah. Well, now apparently we need to do a karaoke stream together, so, you know, there's
Yes.
that.
Yes. Absolutely, 140% yes.
Yeah.
You're cool sometime in August?
I don't know if I can August, because August is just insane. But we'll find
That
out.
is fair.
I have so many collabs I've planned.
No, that is fair. I'm also in a similar boat. So how about this? We'll get to our secretaries and we'll figure things out.
We'll sort out a time, I'm sure.
And of course, by secretaries, I mean I'm gonna go look at my whiteboard and be like, huh.
I should get a whiteboard, honestly. Like, I should get something to hang in my office, like, right next to my PC, where I could just keep track of, like, here's my calendar. Because I have it all on my PC, but I still, like, lose track of shit then.
Yeah, it's having a whiteboard calendar is just so nice. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Let me see here. You know, oh, I just realized I've never said his name out loud. Carnegie V?
Carnegie.
Carnegie.
Yeah, we can bring Carnegie. The greatest penguin heist of all time. Is that what he's playing?
I think so.
I've had this game on my wish list. I don't actually know a whole lot about it. I've just heard it's silly. Yeah,
let's find out about it. Yeah. Spread some love to some Mythical Menagerie members here.
Yeah! If you guys haven't, also, by the way, make sure to follow GM. Because GM is wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful being. This was a pleasure. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the dungeon actually turns out and what people think.
I'm looking forward to that as well. And of course, it was wonderful having you here, Appleseed.
Yay.
You've been a wonderful guest, and I love the sheer mayhem that you have conjured tonight. Everyone who hasn't already, whether you're here now live or you're watching the VOD, definitely give Appleseed a follow. It's a Lil Appleseed, Lil Appleseed. And yeah, 5 away, you said?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if that number has changed, but I'm pretty sure. About 5. Oh, 4 away. Even less.
4. Just 4 followers.
4
and the orchard
from
will
1.2k, y'all. I haven't decided what I'm doing in celebration yet, but I'll come up with something.
We shall find all the apple-based activities.
I have wanted to just do a tier list of nothing but apples. I think that'd be really funny.
And honestly, just makes me think of a little project that I'm doing this fall involving apples.
Oh, I'm curious.
Yeah, well, I've been getting into making mead.
Oh, nice.
And there's a special type of apple cider mead called cicer.
Interesting.
I'm thinking of making a special batch, and it's gonna be more wassail than typical apple cider.
Well, keep me updated on how that goes, because I'm curious. That sounds cool.
I shall, yeah. But what do you have going on for the rest of this week or even this month that you would like to shout out?
Nothing else going on this week because I will be leaving tomorrow to go home for the weekend. And we'll be there till late Sunday. But next week I've got a few things going on next week actually. Let me pull up my calendar. Next week I am playing Phasmophobia with the wonderful Serenity Nightwolf. I am doing some Battle Block Theater with Kiroiha. Then I'm doing Sunhaven with Ciabatta Boy. And then I'm racing a good friend of mine and former actual speedrunner of Spyro the Dragon in Spyro the Dragon.
Ooh.
She's 100%ing the game because that's the category she used to speedrun, and I'm just playing through it normally, and we're gonna see who gets through it faster.
Nice. Sounds like a lot of fun stuff coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun week next week. I mean, every week of August is a fun week, but that's part of it. It's just we do a lot of collabs, and that's all fun.
Yeah, sounds busy, but sounds absolutely fun.
Yeah.
I've got my Soulbound campaign every Tuesday for the most part. I think not next week, but the week after it's going to be a little weird. I'll keep everyone posted. But then next Thursday, we're doing a dungeon creation collab with Ciabatta Boy,
Woo!
who, if you haven't followed him, I highly recommend.
Another member of Mythical Menagerie. We're just shouting everyone out.
Yeah! But that's all for the immediate future. More shenanigans to come, and September is gonna be a fun time because that's my birthday month.
Oh, hell yeah!
I haven't decided what I'm doing yet, but I know I'm gonna do something.
Maybe karaoke?
Karaoke on my birthday. We'll sing all the old cartoon intros. Let's
oh my
go.
god, that sounds really fun, actually.
Alrighty, but I think it's time that we do this raid.
Alright, let's go. Have a great rest of your afternoon, evening, day, night, whatever it happens to be for you, friends. And I will see you, well, I'll see you Monday.
Yeah, everyone take care. Make sure to drink some water, eat some good food, get some good sleep. And we'll see you all next time.
Peace!
Bye-bye.